You are listening to Mishknei Elyon with Rabbi David Katz and Malcolm.
Hi, Rabbi Katz. How are you?
Hi, Malcolm. Chag Sameach. How are you?
I'm very well, very well.
All right. How's your Hanukkah? Actually, you're actually not in Hanukkah yet, are you?
Not Hanukkah yet where I am, no.
So I'm a little bit holier than you are.
Yes, you are. You can give me a little bit of it, though.
It's kind of strange, isn't it? It's like, I'm invested in the Festival of Lights, and outside the land, everyone is not.
We're waiting patiently.
Waiting. But I guess you'll make up for it. When I'm done, you'll still be in it, so you'll get even.
Perfect.
So, all right, it's been a little while. We're actually getting ready to do the next paragraph. I don't remember how much we may or may have not started it last time, but let's go ahead and start from scratch. And who knows how much we'll cover? Maybe a lot, maybe a little. Who knows?
All right, sounds good.
All right, so for those listening, Mishknei Elyon, the Heavenly Temple, commentary of the Third Temple written by the Ramchal. And we've done a couple of classes setting the backdrop of the Kabbalistic temple. This is obviously Ezekiel's predicted temple, not Herod's temple. And we are starting the Kishkas, right? And this is labeled in my book, I guess the same as the English book. We're using Rabbi Greenbaum's translation. And this chapter that we're headed towards, Evin Hashtia, the foundation stone, the big rock that's inside the dome of the rock on the Temple Mount. Kedosha Kedoshim and the rest of the Beit HaMikdash. That's going to be the next two paragraphs in the Hebrew. So let's see what we can do. Go ahead.
Okay. So for the English readers, we're holding at the top of page 58.
Yeah, just do, as far as you're concerned, do the first paragraph.
Okay, sounds good. When the Creator willed the creation of this world, He included everything in 10 great lights, the 10 Sphirot, from which all the different creatures emerged like branches extending from the trunk of the tree. There is nothing in the whole of existence that does not have its place in the supreme chariot.
Now, let's see if we can do this some justice. So
right.
Go ahead. I'm going to follow along. I'm not going to look at you. All right? I'm going to see if you jive with me. Go real slow.
Okay, sounds good. When the Creator willed the creation of this world.
Stop.
Okay.
When the Creator willed to create this world. Does that sound good to you?
So far, so good, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have some issues with the whole Arizal thing, but we'll see how that weaves in. Go real slow. Go ahead.
He included everything in 10 great lights.
Klal hakol be'eser ma'oros gedolim. Klal hakol be'eser ma'oros gedolim. Now here's where it could get funny. So I'm thinking klal can either be like the principle, it can be included, or it can be ready to go. Let me think which one is the best way to say this. Klal hakol. Wow, that's a deep, profound thing. Klal hakol be'eser ma'oros gedolim. Something about 10 great lights, but what does it mean, klal hakol?
Mm-hmm.
Klal hakol. Klal. I would say, yeah, this makes sense. Obviously, God did the Tzimtzum. Is that correct?
Right.
He withdrew himself. And God is infinite, last time I checked, right?
Yeah.
So what I would say is Klal HaKol. He included everything in 10 great lights. Right? That God manifested his revelation of self in the power of 10. Agreed?
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that.
Right?
Okay.
Because he took away his essence, which is infinite, and the Reshimu, the residue left over, manifested in a power of 10. That through 10, there's nothing that God cannot reveal of himself.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay. So he included everything in 10 great lights, from which all the different creatures emerged.
Kishemehem yatsu kol hanivroim. That from them will come out all creations.
All creation. Yeah, okay. So far, so good. It emerged like branches extending from the trunk of the tree.
Ka'anafim hayotzim minof ha'ilon. Like branches coming out from the top of the tree.
From the top of a tree?
The nof, like from the view of the tree, like in view of the tree.
The English says
trunk
trunk.
of the tree.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Hold on a second. Let's never know.
It makes sense. Branches come out of trunks, right?
Because I used to live in a neighborhood called Nof Yefeh, and that means the beautiful view.
Okay.
Let's see here. Where's this word? Minof. Let's see. The word might be minof and not nof. You never know, Malcolm. Let's see. Sprinkle, wave, panorama. Okay, let's try minof. Maybe this is one of those things. We're here to learn. We're here to learn. Not claiming to know it all. Minof, 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 minof. The crowbar of the tree. Just joking. Well, that's kind of funny, isn't it? It's very interesting. This is kind of bothersome, actually. Well, what is that? A little discrepancy here, don't we? Minof ha'ilon. Let's break out the big guns. Yeah?
It makes sense. Does it mention the branches in Hebrew?
Yeah.
So it makes, where do branches come from? Right? They come from the trunk.
Yeah, but you could also say they come from the top of the tree.
It would be a big difference.
Yeah. Minof, or minof, it's like from the view in the view of a tree.
That could be good. From the view of the tree, the branches extend.
Yeah. Let me pull out another dictionary here. Let's see here. It's not every day you come across the word, which could mean the trunk of a tree. To move to and fro, to wave. No. Shake or wave. Swinging or waving. Yeah, see, the top of the tree waves. I think that's where I think, because it sways. I think that's where I want to go. Wait a minute.
I think the top of the tree sounds good to me.
Yeah, right here. No, elevation or height.
Mm-hmm.
For those listening, maybe there's a special word for trunk as minof, but I don't think so. Right? It means the height of the tree. You know what I'm saying? No, right. Elevation or height, like the part that sways, lofty. My opinion is it doesn't mean trunk. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. It won't be the first or last time. But let's go ahead and say it's like the top of the tree, like the part that sways. You know what I mean?
Right. That makes sense to me.
Keep going.
Okay. There is nothing in the whole of existence that does not have its place in a supreme chariot.
Ad shelo nimsa davar she'in lo makom b'merkava elyoina. So from them came out all creations, the branches from the trunk of the tree, for those that want to be controversial. Right? Ad, as much as shelo nimsa, there was not, shelo nimsa davar, nothing, let's just say one swoop, right? Davar she'in lo makom, there's nothing that doesn't have its place or is found in the Merkava above, which means that, like, the divine image or the divine emanation above, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you could even say that everything in this world is a Merkava, a chariot to the above, right? The sun is a Merkava to Zeranpin. The moon is a Merkava to Malchus. Malcolm is a Merkava to Mashiach. Don't tell anybody that, but he is. Whatever it is, we all, like, whatever. Women are Malchus, right? We all have Kabbalistic echoes, right, in ourselves. Right. I mean, I am a son to my mother, so I'm an aspect of Zeranpin. So is Malcolm. I'm a father to my kids. I'm a Merkava to Abba, right?
Right.
Now, our job as people witnessing the creation, we are to perfect that chariot. So, since you're a son to your parents, your job, Malcolm, is to perfect Zeranpin. Or maybe you're more of a father to a child. Maybe you're more Abba. Maybe you haven't lived your potential yet. Maybe you're going to be a great grandfather, Saba. Eventually you'll settle into what you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately everything you do should be a chariot to the above, because everything in reality has its counterpart in the chariot above. Keep going. Go ahead.
Okay. The last of these 10 lights is called the Shekhinah.
V'hameur
right?
ha'acharon shevehem hu nikra Shechina. The last of the 10 lights is called the divine presence, Shechina. Go ahead.
The indwelling presence.
Go ahead.
Is that what you have in yours?
You broke up. Go ahead again.
It says the indwelling presence.
Yeah. Well, as for the word Shechina?
Yeah, that's the only thing. It has it in brackets after Shekhinah.
Then Visham Nishrasho Kol Nimsoyim, the root of all things, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's here in a different sentence. That's why. Okay. It says, it is here that all existing beings are rooted.
Visham Nishrasho Kol Nimsoyim. Okay, keep going. And then understand this well.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Understand this well. For besides the roots that all existing beings have in the other higher lights.
Stop. Ki milvad hashorish asher lehem b'shar ha'ma'oris. Ki milvad hashorish. How you translate milvad again? Milvad's one of those funny words.
It says besides the roots.
Yeah. I want to get a better definition. This is one of those words I like to translate better. Hold on. It's a funny word. Milvad. It has many. It's a strange way to. Strange context word.
Is it like Ain Od Milvado, same root?
Yeah, but you want to be able to get it right in the sentence that we're using it in. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
I mean, it makes. I can read it in Hebrew, but I don't know how to say it in English. It just it's one of those words I don't really translate in my brain when I read. Milvad. Milvad. So yeah, I think it's gonna be Livad. Livad. getting right here. Alone. 1 second. So Levad is alone. But how do you do Milvad? Oh, so look up Bod. See if it's under Bod. Looking like in an authoritative biblical dictionary. Hold on. Okay, bod. It's a huge word. Hold on, let me try to find where it says milvad. There's lavad. Let's see, where's milvad? Here, milvad. Lavad, like besides.
That's how you translate that.
Yeah, it says besides?
Yeah.
There you go. So how would you say this then? Ki milvad, since besides the shorish, that the root, that is asher lehem bishar hamaoros. I need to say this in my brain in Hebrew once. Ki milvad, 1 second. Ki milvad hashorish asher lehem bishar hamaoros. Milvad hashorish asher lehem bishar hamaoros. So besides the root that's for that asher lehem, that stands for them and the rest of the lights. Yesh lehem shorish ze b'shchina. Okay, that's what it is. You can't stop at that comma. That's why it's hard in Hebrew. So it's not that everything is rooted just in the upper chariot, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that it's rooted there. But there's a separate, unique root in the Shechina, or Malchus itself.
Okay.
Right? So, yes, everything is rooted above. But there's another special root in the Shechina. Go ahead.
All right. They also all have a root in the Shekhinah, which is therefore called the mother of children.
Lioso nikras b'mashal im habonim, that in the way of how do you say mashal, like metaphor, it's the Shekhinah is called the mother of the children, or the mother of the sons, but the mother of the children.
Mm-hmm.
Im habonim,
Okay.
which I think this is interesting. I'll tell you why. In Mazel, which is the idea of how Shefa comes down. And that's what the Beis Hamikdash stands for, remember, right? Is the
Right.
Shefa coming down from Hashem's emanation, or emanating quality, or aspect. It channels through the higher world, and it has the Hishtalshalis. It comes down into our domain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in our world today, it's you have to know that everything is a chariot to the above in order to get Shefa. But that's very difficult to do. Meaning if I have to get Shefa from Zeranpin, and Malcolm, you are a son to your parents, right?
Right.
It's very hard for me to connect to these kind of Kabbalistic things because you're not holy enough for me to see that easily. None of us are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're all too much klippa. But
right.
The Beis Hamikdash, where it's unique, is that it is holy and it doesn't get klippa. So when we have the temple in our midst, we're able to get the shefa directly from the source in this world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or, it's unadulterated in the Hishtalshalis as it enters our world. So I don't have to grasp for straws and try to find the Merkava everywhere. There's one Merkava, and it's the temple, right? It's like the Shekhinah on earth. But in the terms of Mazel, and the Kabbalah of Mazel, there's three aspects to Mazel. Mazon, Bonim, and Chaim. Right? Like liveliness, sustenance, and Bonim, legacy, children, Neshamot, like, bringing out souls. So, if we're going to say that Shechina is Aim Habonim, and it says in the Zohar that the repair of Atzilus, where basically it means there's the revelation of the Shechina on earth, is when the level of Mazel is bringing out Bonim, right? It's bringing out the Neshamas. That means that the Mazel is flowing real good. So it makes sense that because you have to have Shechina repaired, Malchus repaired, receiving the light, and as it says consistently, that's the level of Bonim. So it makes sense that she's called the mother of the sons or the children. Right. So that means what comes into her, if I remember correctly, is the Mazon, right? Zeranpin. And then that's the second level you're supposed to get to. Right? The first level of everyone basically can get to, not everybody, but whatever, is Chaim. Right? That doesn't require the repair of the Shechina or Zeranpin. Now it sounds like a contradiction, right? It would sound like for Chaim, for life, how am I meriting or zoche to the level of Abba and Ima, right? That's an insanely high level. Right? Wisdom and understanding. That's like the repair of Mashiach. The answer is because those are two lovers that never part. So their sustenance is always coming into the world. So we get our life. We get Chaim. But obviously you'll say that it's not fully appreciated until you get all three, right? You don't really know what life is until you work for a living, right? You work for a living now, and your life has a lot more meaning than when you were 15, right? Because you were an idiot when you were 15, like we all were. Right? And then when you work for life, then you realize, your parents worked hard, and, it's not so easy to put food on the table. Then, when you have kids, you appreciate sustenance, right? You got to pay for college, you got to, take care of your kids, and then, life isn't so obvious either. So, even though you get free life just for having been born into existence, you don't really understand and appreciate life, i.e. the tree of life, makes sense, the soul's Bonim tree of life, until you've completed all circuits of Mazel. And that means the Shefa is coming down, you get the thoughts of God that come down in the Shtalshalis, which is the Shefa, which is just divine energy, divine concepts, divine imagery, right? How the divine works in this world. Then the Shechina is illuminated. Right? On that level, you can appreciate every son in this world that's a manifestation of Zeranpin, because you have a son, right? And you're supplying your son, right? So your son is under you. You're the father, right? So the Merkava of Zeranpin is not so foreign to you, and you recognize other men, other fathers. That's not foreign to you. So God, our Father in heaven, is not so foreign to you, right? And so that's really what Mazel is the Shefa coming down to man allows him to connect to God in this world in all these different ways. And obviously with the temple, that's an easier revelation. When I say easier, it's more what's easier to eat, a medium steak or a totally raw steak?
Medium.
Right. It doesn't mean that it's, like, oh, that's easy, thank God. No, it's just, not everything's supposed to be a raw steak. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you're happily married, it's probably easier after 30 years than after 5 dates, right? Because you broke each other in, right? And that's what life is ultimately supposed to come to. That you start to understand the patterns of life, your mazel, your rhythm, your congruence of your life. That's when the mazel is starting to really gel. The temple is that. The temple is a medium cooked steak. Right? When you come to the temple with your korban, your offering, you are going to have a revelation of the divine. It's already, the word is nachon. It's already ripe on that level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you merit the 3 levels of mazel, life is ripe on that level. That's why it's the tree of life.
Right.
One idea of the tree of knowledge of good and evil is it's the tree of life when it's raw. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we all have inclinations to eat raw food. I made broccoli last week, and I was in a hurry. And I felt the broccoli on the top. I steamed it, right? And I'm like, okay, it's done. So I pulled it off the fire. And I thought I was going to eat it, right? Then I dug in, and the bottom ones were frozen, right? And I'm like trying to convince myself, like, yeah, I can do this. It's good. It's good. It's good. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's good. And I'm like, I already put like the garlic and the margarine on it. And it's like, okay, grow up, man. Put it back on the fire and eat it like a mensch, right? So that's like the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Right? Every kid wants to eat on that level, right? You know,
Mm-hmm.
when you tell your parents, hey, I'm 18, I'm a man now, I'm a man. No, you're not. You know, you think you are, but you're not. So eventually life becomes ripe, right? It becomes right. You become right. You settle into who and what you are. That's really what Mazel's about. You know,
right.
You really settle into your powers that you have. And when I say powers, just you know, you have X amount of concepts that you consist of, the words you use, things you say, things you think of, and as that stews for a good, you know, basically 40. At 40 years old, you learn Kabbalah. That's why. Because by 40, I mean, I'm not even there yet. I'm speaking from faith too. But from but at that time, I'm getting close. I'll be 38 this year. So the point is that that's as old as the Arizal got to. So I have something to stand on. You know your moves. Like, you know, if you're seen like a martial artist or a sportsman, right? They know their moves. You know, the best wrestler is the one who he knows what he's going to do the whole time. If you can just know what you're going to do, that's what shlemus or consistency is. Right? If you have to guess what do I do, you don't know yourself yet.
Right.
But when you do know yourself, you're a power. Right? You're like Coca-Cola. You know what it's going to do every time you open a bottle of Coca-Cola.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you don't want to open Mike's Big Cola from the store. You don't know what you're getting, right?
Right.
It's like, you know, the gas might be done in 20 minutes. You don't know. But, you know, Coca-Cola, you know what you're getting. There's something to be said about that creamy, silky smooth name brand quality, right? That's what Malchus Shechina is. How do they describe Malchus or Shechina? Like the creamy cloud, right? What do you call that? What do they call that cloud? Like for the Shechina?
The cloud that surrounded the children of Israel, you mean?
Yeah, there's like a word for they call it. I forget what it is, but like real thick, creamy white cloud, right?
Okay, I
right?
see.
So like that kind of craftsmanship, that's what ultimately you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you're supposed to see the creation on that level, because even though you're blind to it now, that's what the creation is. Right? Everything is that silky smooth and clear. So when you're on that level of banim, of legacy, neshamot, souls, just everything has that consistency, and that's how you see the chariot. Anyways, so go ahead.
Okay.
I just wanted to lay down that principle for, you know, once and for all.
All right. Continuing, it says, everything comes forth from her hands.
Everything comes out from her hands.
All right.
So you have to assume she has hands.
Well, not literally, obviously, right?
Not literally. But what is it? But what it means is that, you know, there's the hishtalshalis, the lowering of Kabbalah into this world, right?
Right.
So the hishtalshalis comes into our world as two hands.
Mm-hmm.
One is the right hand of God, the other is the left hand of God. So the right hand of God is divine providence, right? God running the world, just being God, right? That's like the wisdom of nature, right? That's the level of nefesh. Malchus is the nefesh, right?
Right.
So God controls nefashot, all the nefesh. Right now, is there a conversation going on between me and you?
Yes.
Is that really me and you, or is that our nefesh engaging?
Right. It's the nefesh level.
Right. Because your meat on your body doesn't really care what you're doing right now, neither does mine.
Right.
But our nefesh is like our juice, our moisture in our body is aroused right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's causing saliva in your mouth with an urge to speak and articulate to maneuver the liquid in your body through your mouth, correct?
Right. Right.
So it's like creating a storm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm creating a storm in you and me. That's the
right.
nefesh. Now, God is the one who creates that storm. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because your nefesh is encoded with your name, your mazel, all the things that trigger. So when I speak to you, I'm speaking to your nefesh. Actually, God is speaking through me to your nefesh.
Right.
And it arouses your nefesh. And it conjures up ideas and thoughts in you, which is how God brings the Shefa of Kabbalah to you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I was going to bring up about the Arizal. This is how God takes care of creation. This is how God creates the world. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, it is God creating the world. Do you see it?
Right.
Because
go into that a bit deeper.
Because you are a person, and God is taking care of the creation, you, and making your life better.
Mm-hmm.
So through creation, God is giving you what you need, your sustenance. Right now, He has chosen me to give you your sustenance.
Right.
I'm propped up from my parents, and then their parents, and so forth. All so that I could be here now to give you your sustenance.
Mm-hmm.
And vice versa. Right?
Right.
So that's all called the right hand of God. In other words, it's coming down as Shefa from Keter to Malchus through Shekhinah. And then, it's being maneuvered as it comes into this world beyond the scope of space and time. But into our domain, it comes about as me talking to you.
Right.
And remember, it says all the creations. So it's not just about Malcolm. Right? It's the blade of grass. It's your family. It's your friends. It's Obama. It's Putin. It's Janet Reno. Whatever it is. Right? Everybody in the world.
Right.
And then there's something called the left hand of God. And that's the angelic kingdom called Yitzchak. Like God sports with his Leviathan. That world is fire. It's all heat. Right? Our world is liquid. It's the nephesh, right? That world is heat. It's lightning fast. It's not for man. You'll never be able to perceive it. It's like, how when you go on the internet, you don't see the code of the websites, you just see the website.
Okay.
You don't need to see the back end. It's not even interesting. Right? If it's all binary, do you really want to see 0 and 1? Not really.
No, I guess not.
So when I speak to you and I arouse your juice in your body, your moisture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my body's aroused and bubbling up the energy that comes out of my mouth, and the vapor forms words and symbols and sounds that by the time the vapor and moisture hits the microphone, it hits cyberspace and ends up through what's that called in physics? what's that called? The
Not
super
sure.
the new physics. Quantum physics.
Okay.
That it manifests on your side of the globe and in you, right?
Right.
The
Okay.
reason why that's possible is because of the left hand of God. When I speak, I'm not speaking. God is just bubbling up stuff in my mouth. And my mouth gets so filled, I have to I just let it go. Right? Do you really think that I'm thinking about what I'm saying right now? No.
No.
So I have an immense desire to speak. Right? If I was having a hard time speaking, I would be in the wrong profession and I wouldn't have anything to say to you. So the fact that I have so much to say, and what makes it possible for you to learn from it, is the angelic world. If I'm a tree of life, the angelic world puts the fruit on the tree of life. Those fruits are the vowel points of the Hebrew that I'm speaking, no matter what language.
Right.
It's the highlight. It's when I pause. It's when I don't pause. It's when I accentuate. And that's what allows you to tune in and get the divine message that your nephesh requires to become aroused. So my angelic world is loading me up, and it's being received by you in your angelic world. So that when you fire back at me, I'm getting the same thing from you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another way of saying, as the Shefa comes down from Malchus, it's loaded. Right?
Right.
And God operates in different levels of Shemayim, which is the firmament between Atzilus and you. Forget about Kabbalah for a second. Right? There's you and you are not God.
Right.
And there's you that's connected to God.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a contradiction. God is with you, but there's a space between you and God.
Right.
That space is the Hishtalshalis that allows the Shefa to get to you. And on the big picture, that space is called all 6,000 years of creation until we got to you.
Right. Okay.
So there's many ways of viewing it, but at the end of the day, there's only one God and He runs the world. But He has created a system and a structure of how He maintains and betters His world. Right? He is God to His creation.
Mm-hmm.
And He makes a tzimtzum to do so. The Kabbalistic world is His creation that basically runs all of creation, right? And He pushes it. So there are angels employed by God to do the job. And there's different dimensions, different domains, different wisdoms. As far as we're concerned, it's two guys talking Torah.
Right.
But in Kabbalistic reality, there's a lot of soul and angel work going on.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, it's God driving it down, right? And God chooses creation to be the chariot, Merkava, to God Himself. Right? So.
Right.
All right, that's that. So everything comes out by her hands.
Right.
Again, it's the Shefa through Malchus as God having the providence through the worlds all the way through you. But ultimately it comes out through the nephesh of this world. Go ahead.
Now, are those hands ever supposed to come together? Like, I'm thinking Yehezkel's vision, the tree of Yehuda, the tree of Yosef, bringing the hands together.
You can't say they don't, but
right.
in speech they naturally come together. That's why speech is the best metaphor.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Because God is naturally working my nephesh in my body as I speak right now, right?
Right, so right, okay.
And by definition, the angels are loading my speech to those that have divine Ruach HaKodesh to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I have Ruach HaKodesh, I would be able to speak with a skill to load my speech so that makes the angel's job metaphorically easier.
Mm-hmm.
For example, who Who employs the angels better, David Katz or King David?
King David.
Why?
Because he's on a higher level.
Yeah, but how? How do you know that? Where do you see it?
Based on what he was.
Because when he wrote Psalms,
right,
you can draw conclusions from his letters and words and know they're true.
Right.
If I did it, you would say that was a nice guess.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, actually.
If I wrote David Hainu David, you'd say, well, the end letter spells David. Right? But
right.
with King David, he was the master and father of Ruach HaKodesh. So everything he wrote and said had just edible fruit every time.
Mm-hmm.
So the angels were just there with his speech no matter what, right?
Right.
You could draw conclusions just by hearing him talk.
Right.
With people like me and you, we're so filled with klippa, despite the fact that we're speaking in English, right? That the angels are deep in our words, and most people never find it. But if I'm friends with you, and we really love each other, like Jonathan and David, right? Like a nefesh union, you'll hear past my klippa, I'll hear past yours, and we can begin to understand the soul, right? But again, David and Moses, their level of communication was on the level of official Torah. We are not official Torah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This recording is not holy. Not at all. It's just, you know what I'm saying? But if King David were given this, everyone would tend to listen a little bit more. Right?
Yeah.
But that's the difference. Because the angels are employed, therefore it's holy. Right? Go ahead.
Right. Okay.
L'chein ba nishrashu kulam. And therefore, in her, in them, everything is sourced.
Right.
Right? Because as it reaches Malchus, that's when it's ready to become down into this world. Everything is sourced and rooted, and then it comes into this world. And so the temple is also that. Everything is rooted in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So imagine going to the temple and everything you did and everything you said, everything you saw had its root in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything had its identity revealed in the temple. Can you imagine that?
It'd be amazing.
Right, because it just, there'd be the space between you and God would be radically diminished.
Right.
Right now, God is so far from us, we don't even think that God is here. So if I say, hey, Malcolm, boo, you wouldn't even think twice. You just say, okay, nice, yeah, boo, boo, boo-hoo. Right? But in the temple, it's like God would echo it. You see what I'm saying? Everything is rooted at the source.
Mm-hmm.
So it wouldn't be stam, like generic. Everything has meaning, purpose. Nothing is by accident. Nothing is superfluous. So everything has an ancient feeling to it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll start the third paragraph now. Understand that there is a special place known to her, where all the roots come together.
Wait a minute. No, you don't have that? Wait a minute. I have Vitsarik Shatidak Yesh Makom Echad Miyuchad Vinoda. There's a special and unique place known to her. Do you have that?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Ah.
Well, it's worded a little differently, but
okay.
essentially.
All right. So go again. Read it again slowly.
Okay. Understand that there is a special place known to her where all these roots come together.
Okay, I can hear that. Go ahead.
Okay, then in brackets it says, this is the heavenly temple.
Okay, yeah. So that's nice that he put that in there, actually. That's not in the original, but that's nice. So the temple's where they all come together. All right, keep going.
In that place is the root of all things.
Yeah.
Both those,
yeah.
Both those that depend on her and those that depend on the other higher lights.
ותלויים בה, תלויים בשאר המאירס כאחד. ושם יש שורש לכל דברים, ושם יש שורש לכל דברים, ותלויים בה, ושם יש השורש לכל הדברים, there is a שורש לכל הדברים, ותלויים בה, תלויים בשאר המאירס כאחד. וצריך שתדע כי יש מקום אחד מיוחד ונודע לה, שבו נכללים כל השורשים האלה, ושם יש השורש לכל הדברים, ותלויים בה, ותלויים... So there's like a super root. Somehow there's a super root. Go ahead.
Okay. In that place are the roots of the earth and all it contains.
Shrashi ma'aretz umaloa. Hashemayim, yeah.
The heavens of the heavens, and all their hosts without
Shemayim,
exception.
Shemayim, Shemayim, Akol Tzvoseihem. That's it?
Without exception. Yeah, without exception is where it ends.
Ish lo ne'edar. See, that's where it said that. Ish lo ne'edar. Like, Ish. I don't know why he says Ish. I guess that's why he left that out, but, yeah, I can see why he left out that word. Mine says Ish lo ne'edar. No man is missing or lacking. Mm-hmm. No, that's bad. He should have put an Ish.
Wow, how does it change it?
Because it means that we on earth are not missing anything from the godly experience.
So all their hosts and even men don't lack anything. Is what you're saying.
No.
Right.
No, everything is rooted in a Tzilas, in a special place, correct?
Right.
And the root of all of earth and heaven, correct?
Okay, yeah.
Do you think your bunny rabbit cares?
No.
But you
maybe,
care.
I guess. I care, yeah.
That's what he's saying. You shouldn't care. Meaning you shouldn't worry.
Right,
Everything,
right, okay.
You need not worry. Did God cover your back?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because what's the greatest fear of man? That maybe God just didn't give us everything.
Right.
And when I say that, it's like, nobody wants to be shortchanged. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like God's going to make me suffer is my fear. The fear is life just kind of like, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, the reason why that's not an acceptable answer is because we have a nefesh. We have a soul. And our nefesh has an appetite only quenched by God. That's why your nefesh is so dangerous. If you pervert your nefesh, imagine what that means to have an endless appetite.
Mm-hmm.
So you can imagine why is there evil in the world? Or how does evil thrive? Because people employ their nefesh to evil.
Right.
So there's no satiation to it.
Yeah, never
so
ends.
The only repair is Gehenna. And Gehenna it opens up its nefesh to satisfy all this nefesh. So it can absorb you and your endless desires.
Right.
That's how it's the only way you can conquer death, while the repair is going on. But there has to be an alternative to the Sitra Achra, right? We can't try to take out all of our bodily gratification just in case maybe there isn't the real God. Right? At the end of the day, God has to deliver the goods for the nefesh. That's why we're created with the soul.
Right.
So what it is that in God's system, there must be a way to satisfy your nefesh. And nothing short of God will work. Because your nefesh only wants and understands God.
Right.
Your body is just stupid for your nefesh. But if your nefesh gets sick and impure and limited, your body takes over and says, hey, look, chocolate chip cookies are just as good. It's okay. And your nefesh says, hey, sugar and this stuff is really sweet. I like that. Because the nefesh wants sweet words of Torah, says Mishlei.
Right.
But your body can trick it. Because your body's where your mouth is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you feed it cookies and sugar and all this stuff. Your nefesh gets excited. But then it wears off and it gets depressed.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where free will comes in. How are you going to treat your nefesh? The challenge is extremely difficult. But the good news is that God has created a system that is not lacking anything of the divine quality for your nefesh. And that's what the temple really is here to deliver. That everybody will have their God on earth experience.
Right.
So you can imagine how evil Jesus is, right? That's the essence of God on earth in the backside.
Right.
Right? It's just, it's literally God incarnate, which every Avodah Zorah does that. The temple is not God incarnate. The temple is nefesh satisfaction. Total difference.
Like that.
Total difference.
Yeah.
It's nefashot. It cleanses. It keeps your soul satiated. Your nefesh with a level of elokus.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like literally like spiritual food. So the system of the world is such that there's nothing lacking from that system. And I wish he would have said the temple here. I mean, Greenbaum said it, but the Ramchal didn't say it. Let's continue a little bit. I don't know if we'll finish this paragraph or not, but I want to make sure that special place is the temple. Keep going.
Okay. In the middle of the place where all these roots come together, there is a single stone.
El Makom Echad. Here we go. Right? The congregation of all these roots to one place. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. There is a single stone. And then in
brackets, Kamo Evin Achat. It'll appear in the middle there as one stone. The Evin Hazot Yikara Ma'od. And this stone is very precious. Go ahead.
Okay. It possesses every kind of beauty and charm.
Klula mikol yofi v'chemda. It is imbued with, created with everything that's nice and desirable. Now, do you know how great the word nice is?
In English or in Hebrew?
The concept.
The concept? Okay, yeah, it's a big concept.
Yeah, nice is really what it's about. Right? You don't want things that are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is awesome, really? Right? If I told you I had a solid gold-plated Mercedes, that's awesome. I mean, in some theoretical world, right?
Right.
But does that matter?
No.
Or like, if I told you I have a Ford F-350 with a rocket engine. I mean, whatever these guys do on the internet, right? Like, okay, it's awesome. Okay, wow, wow. But who cares, right?
Right.
But Yofi is nice. I'll give you an example of nice. I'm going to give you the right example. Let's say you're a graphics designer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And until now you were working on a little dinky monitor. And I got you a huge monitor for you to see very easily what you're doing. Isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm. It's really nice, yeah.
That's nice. And now that's not awesome.
No.
It's nice. So divine living is nice. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Actually, I see the distinction.
Right. Let me think here. A triple chocolate mountain caramel coconut banana split pie is awesome.
Yeah.
But a really good chocolate chip cookie is very nice.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
No,
Yeah.
I might be giving you some lame examples, but you see my point, right?
No, that was a good one.
When you come for dinner, I don't have to give you a super duper triple chocolate, right? Just like, like it's nefesh food. That's what I'm saying. The nefesh food is nice.
Right, not awesome.
Right, if you come for Shabbos and it's cold and rainy or snowy, I give you a hot chicken soup for Shabbos night. Isn't that nice?
It's very nice.
It's nice. And we're talking, and it's warm, right? But awesome would be like 20 kinds of chicken marinated in exotic sauces, right? That's awesome. But that's not sustainable.
Right.
On any level. It's just nice. It's not nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk with your house saying Malcolm was a jerk, but he had great chicken. You know what I'm saying? But if it's the chicken soup, it's like the whole thing goes for the nefesh. So this world is supposed to be yofi, nice. And chemda is desirable. Getting married is a desirable thing, right? Having a woman in your life is desirable. It's cold in Toronto, right? Again, I'm not getting into animal rights and stuff, okay? But if you're gonna be warm, don't you want a coat that's gonna keep you warm?
Right.
You don't want some goofy, $20 okay, I'm still freezing here, right? If you're gonna do the job right. So that's chemda. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. If you're driving long distances, you don't want a little clunker car, right? You do want to be comfortable, just comfortable seat with a radio that plays Torah, USB port, right?
Yeah.
That's called chemda. That's not beyond that's not luxury. That's chemda. It's a different form of nice. See what I'm saying? So there's the stone is precious because it has all that in it.
Right.
And that's called Even Shtia, the foundation stone. And see, that's what Mazel and Shefa is trying to give to man. Man was created to be the recipient of that. But you can only have that when your nefesh is healthy. Otherwise, you're going to say, give me more. It's not about give me more. It's about give me what's right.
Right.
Give me what I deserve, what I need, right? I give classes in my house, right? Do I need $100,000 recording studio?
No.
No. But I do need and I do deserve, I have to have a decent amount of recording equipment.
Right.
So it's not arrogant and, let's say, not humble to say I need a computer, recording devices, a camera, a tripod, all these things. Man deserves possessions. Right? That's how you disseminate Torah. But the nefesh wants to then say, well, someone says, Rabbi Katz, I'm going to donate to you a recording microphone. Okay, well, it's got to be a Sony, $5,000 so I can have good stuff. No. You need to know what your nefesh needs. Anything beyond what your nefesh requires is exploitation, it's evil, and a perversion to your soul.
Right.
And then that perversion is going to say, yeah, I got a $20,000 recording studio in my house. Why do I need to say that? Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to steal your soul. I'm better than you. And you're going to give it to me. You're going to be like, wow, let's all bow and pray to you. You're the best.
Right.
And this is the world we live in, right?
Yeah.
Everyone is stealing everyone's soul. But again, that's not to say that we should live like, Neanderthals. Because this level of Shefa is given to mankind. We are created for that. So that's the challenge. You're given a nefesh, and you have to get it right in order to sanctify what God has done through the temple creation. V'chein haisa evin azos ba'olam hazeh lamata b'makom kodesh kadoshim ka'asher aver od. So this concept exists in Atzilus. There's a heavenly temple, right?
Okay.
Which is, let's say, it's the chicken soup of Atzilus.
Okay.
There's whatever it is in Atzilus, there's something about Yofi and Chemda. Right? As God is working together the emanation, it comes together as a nice, desirable, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like if God is Booby, right? And Booby is saying, oh, they'll like the good chicken soup I'm bringing them. So God is cooking a good chicken soup. With me?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a place in this world where God serves the soup. And then the ingredients come together to make the soup. And then that soup is divvied all over the world.
Right.
That's called the Holy of Holies, the Evan Shtia, the Temple Mount, yada, yada, yada. And it's a direct Merkava to that concept of Atzilus.
Right.
Every creation gets their chicken soup. Right?
Right.
But the problem is, as I said in the beginning, there's no temple today.
Right.
So do you
exactly.
know what your chicken soup is? Probably not. Most people don't. The Zohar says this is what machlokis is. For me, my chicken soup is a gold-plated Mercedes. That's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem. For me, I'm not on the level to eat soup. It's also a problem. When everybody understands what their nice and desirable is, that's when you're at one with the temple. Because God created the world with wisdom. Your soul was created from that. There's something you need all the time. And God gives it. You can't tell God no. He's bringing it whether you like it or not. And God never runs out. So it's not exploitation. You need to recognize, and with wisdom, how to connect with that which will satisfy your nefesh. Anything else is an exploitation, and you're going to go around stealing other people's nefesh with an insatiable desire.
Right.
And we'll close with this. Remember, no man is missing or lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you need is in that temple. Everything you need is in this world. That your nefesh will thrive and be perfectly happy. The wisdom is to connect to it. When the temple comes, the world will harmonize and you'll just be you. And you'll be happier being you. Right? You thought you had to get all dressed up and do things, or whatever it is, right? You didn't realize that being you is the best and easiest thing you can do.
Right.
An easy meaning the medium steak and not the raw steak.
Mm-hmm.
You're best equipped to be you. But the world challenges you being you. So when I try to steal your soul, I'm shaking you from you being you. Now you might be subordinate to me, try to steal my soul, whatever it is. We're all distracting each other. That's the Yetzer Hara.
Mm-hmm.
When there's no more Yetzer Hara, because the nefesh is satisfied, everyone will be happy to be them. So make a note in your book there, and we'll pick it up next time.
Okay.
With Umimein and his Pashtu. And from it goes out. I don't know if you have that in your book or what.
Yeah, it says stretching out in all directions. That makes sense?
Umimein and his Pashtu, yeah. So keep that marked for next time.
Perfect. Got it.
All right, Chanukah Sameach, you're almost there in the Festival of Lights.
Almost here. Hanukkah Sameach.
So, all right, we'll pick up next time. This is good.
All right, Rabbi.
All right, Chag Sameach.